Hello. Terry Lynch here, medical doctor, accredited psychotherapist, best-selling mental health author, creator of mental health courses for the general public and for mental health professionals. Coinciding with an article of mine that's been published in the British Association of Counselling and Psychotherapy's Healthcare Counselling and Psychotherapy Journal in July 2025, I'm currently in the process of creating a course for mental health professionals, particularly psychotherapists, psychologists, counsellors, on this same topic, working with clients with a psychiatric diagnosis. I have had many concerns about the dominant mental health paradigm, the largely medicalized, supposedly biologically based understanding of the psychiatric diagnoses that has pertained now since the 1980s. In this short video, I'm discussing just one of these concerns. The sloppy, careless, inaccurate use of language that is so common, to my eyes, among those who are supposedly authoritative within the current mental health paradigm. What I'm briefly looking at in this video is mind and brain. It is commonly asserted within the current mental health paradigm that mind and brain are the same thing, and that of the two, the brain is far more important than the mind. We can conclude that because from authoritative sources, there is far more discussion about the brain than there is about the mind. The terms mind and brain are commonly used interchangeably to mean the same thing by authoritative sources within mental health. This is a fundamental error, one of many examples of sloppy thinking and careless reasoning. From the Royal College of Psychiatrists, schizoaffective disorder. Schizoaffective disorder referring to people who have some characteristics of schizophrenia and some characteristics of what is referred to as an affective disorder. Affective meaning mood, so a mood disorder such as bipolar disorder. So a person who has some of the experiences and behaviors of both schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. That's basically what schizoaffective disorder is. According to the Royal College of Psychiatrists, schizoaffective disorder is a disorder of the mind that affects your thoughts and emotions and may affect your actions. A disorder of the mind. There's no mention on the Royal College of Psychiatrists website in relation to schizoaffective disorder of the brain. It's a different story on the website of the University of Massachusetts, who, like many other authoritative sources, assert that schizoaffective disorder is a serious and puzzling brain disorder. There's no mention within their information on schizoaffective disorder of the mind. From the Royal College of Psychiatrists, again, in relation this time to schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is a disorder of the mind that affects how you think, feel, and behave. No mention in any of their information on schizophrenia of the brain. However, the American Psychiatric Association states unequivocally that schizophrenia is a chronic brain disorder. Within their information on schizophrenia, there is no mention whatsoever of the mind. So the American Psychiatric Association referring solely to the brain, and the Royal College of Psychiatrists referring only to the mind and not to the brain. How can this be? This happens because within the dominant current paradigm, created largely by doctors, brain and mind are seen as the same thing, hardly worthy of any discussion in relation to the differences between the mind and brain. This is a fundamental error from which many other errors and distortions arise. These neuroscientists express the difference between mind and brain very well. The mind and brain are actually two very different but interconnected entities. The mind works through the brain but is separate from the brain. The mind uses the brain and the brain responds to the mind. The mind also changes the brain. People choose their actions. Their brains do not force them to do anything. Yes, there would be no conscious experience without the brain, but experience cannot be reduced to the brain's actions. This is all totally correct. She continued, your mind is how you uniquely experience life. It's responsible for how you think, feel, and choose. And your physical brain merely responds to these unique experiences. Knowing that your mind and brain are separate puts you in the control seat because you can learn to manage your thoughts and actions. Ultimately, it means that you can choose what you build into your brain and how you choose to change what's already built in. When you learn how to manage your mind, you can make feelings of depression, stress, anger, and anxiety work for you instead of against you. You can bring balance back into your brain and life. Absolutely. This medical doctor, a gastroenterologist, interestingly, similarly provided a great answer to the mind and brain question. Brain and mind are not the same. Your brain is part of the visible, tangible world of the body. Your mind is part of the invisible, transcendent world of thought, feeling, attitude, belief, and imagination. The brain is the physical organ most associated with mind and consciousness, but the mind is not confined to the brain. The intelligence of your mind permeates every cell of your body, not just brain cells. Your mind has tremendous power over all bodily systems. I'm not alone in concluding that there is a considerable amount of sloppiness, lazy and careless thinking within the current mental health paradigm. Stephen Reedboard is an American psychiatrist. In his blog in 2012, he wrote the following: Chemical imbalance, sloppy thinking in psychiatry. There's a lot of sloppy thinking in my field, in psychiatry. This troubles me. Chemical imbalance is a phrase used by psychiatrists and lay people alike. When a mental problem seems to arise from within instead of without, it is said to be due to a chemical imbalance. In truth, however, no chemical imbalance nor any structural abnormality in the brain has ever been found to account for anything we currently consider a psychiatric disorder. Stephen Reedboard here is talking about the utterly unverified chemical imbalance notion. He is totally correct about sloppy thinking in the field, the mind-brain issue being just one of many examples. The issue of mental health is far too important for there to be such glaring examples of careless, sloppy thinking and practice. The course that I'm creating for mental health professionals will be addressing such sloppy thinking. I will be setting out a far more accurate and nuanced understanding of the psychiatric diagnosis, and I will be setting out why it is that counsellors, psychotherapists, psychologists are far more suited and well trained to work with people with a psychiatric diagnosis than is commonly believed to be the case. If you would like me to update you about when the course becomes available, which I expect will be roughly June 2025, then please respond to this video, either comment or message me, and I will make sure that you are updated when the course becomes available. Thanks for watching and have a great day.